There it is, man.
Dude, stop it.
It really, it's a real thing.
It looks good.
You're picking up your pace.
Yeah. Oh my God.
It's real. Welcome to the shop. I'm Jared, and this is the Questionable Garage, and this is a very unique and special episode. One that I quite frankly never thought I would make or be a part of. And what exactly is it? Well, we are going on a rescue mission, but it takes a little bit of storytelling to get us to that rescue mission. Thumbnail, title, you kind of know the topic of the video, but if you didn't quite see it, you're a loyal subscriber and you clicked without even looking. Last week, the automotive news world broke. A story came out that no one ever thought would happen. Peak Auctions website, a place for tow pounds and impound lots to list certain vehicles for sale, suddenly had a vehicle that it shouldn't. A GM EV1. But before we delve too far into the EV1 story, there's potentially a lot of new viewers here. Welcome to the channel. If you don't know me, let me show you a little bit of my catalog of vehicles that I build. We got Roadblock, Earl Leaker, Lazarus the Lexus, and of course, everyone's favorite A-body, Tryhard. So what exactly does that catalog of building tie me into an EV1 Magna Charger kind of guy? Well, I also have this in my back catalog. That's right, I managed to track down and save one of the EV1's little bit more truckier cousins, the Chevy S10 EV.
It's electric!
Now, if you're not really familiar with that truck, it came out in 97, 98 while the EV1 production was on hiatus, and it had the EV1 drivetrain. And I got it running and driving. So between the S10 EV history and the fact that I was an hour away from the EV1, everyone assumed I was bidding. I even had Brian from the Utopian and several other news websites reach out and say, hey, are you bidding on this thing? And I was. Right up until $5,000. It turns out, when an auction website has one of the rarest vehicles that no one technically can own up for sale, news gets out.
Now, you've seen in the last couple videos, I've been working on trying to get better, healthier ingredients in me so I can live a better, healthier lifestyle. But it's equally as important for your pets to get good, healthy food in their stomachs as well. And that's where today's sponsor, The Pet's Table by HelloFresh, comes in perfect. It's really quick and convenient to just go buy that bag of kibble from the grocery store. We do it a fair bit at our house, but the problem with kibble is it is so overprocessed that a lot of the nutrients get cooked out of it, and by the time it hits your dog's mouth, it's mostly just filler. Now, from the Pet's Table, you're able to get fresh food, which is human grade, made with natural ingredients. You can take a bite if you want. It's not just a bunch of ingredients thrown together. It's developed with vets and vet nutritionists to make sure your loved dog is getting the best it can. They have 9 different recipes and a really handy quiz to answer what you're looking for your dog. Are you trying to improve their vision, gut health? If they have itchy skin, they have different meal plans and options, as well as extra supplements you can purchase to make sure they're getting everything they need. Now, one thing we have struggled a lot with Magni and Pira is they're slow eaters when it comes to kibble, but since switching over to the Pet's Table, they're getting their own meals done very quickly, sometimes as fast as 2 minutes. And that's a lot better than when they volunteered to finish their siblings' bowl. Take advantage of this exclusive offer. You're going to get 55% off your first order and 20% off your second order. Most of the time, it's just a one-time. You're getting 2. 55% off your first order, 20% off your second order. All you need to do is head on over to thepetstable.com and use code questionable55. Again, that's thepetstable.com. Use code questionable55. 55% off your first box, 20% off your second box. Take that quiz, get your dogs food you'd enjoy.
So as the price kept going up, I reached out to someone I thought might have deeper pockets than me. My buddy Rich from Rich Rebuilds, and he was chomping at the bit. He's a big EV guy, and this is the EV car. And as we were talking back and forth, coming up with plans, a content strategy, my role in coming down and getting the vehicle immediately out of the impound, protecting it until he could make it down from the New England area and take it back home safe, his budget quickly was eclipsed. Went from $60,000 to $104,000 before the end of the auction. And that is where we kind of got sad. We had a plan to give the world a look, mostly Rich's job, I had a small part in it, but give the world a look at the EV1 that has never existed. How every little button works, the turn signal stocks, just what made it a car, and, a look behind the curtain. But with the gavel price of $104,000, we feared it went into one of those museums that are only open for 33 seconds on the 30th day of February. They're tax shields. We were like, great, there was a chance, and it was gone. But then I got a text from Rich. One that gave us a little bit of hope. The text I got read, I think it might be one of us. The guy has a S10 EV as an avatar, and his name is Billy. I have a friend that meets both of those requirements. He was really a big part of getting my S10 up and running alongside Keith. So I sent a text where I asked, was it you? Chapter 1. What is an EV1? Why does it matter, and why do we get excited about it? At least some of us get excited about it. A number of you that have clicked through, you probably know the full story. I'm not going to get into the technical motor details. This is just a glancing overview. I don't want to talk too long, because that's not what I'm good at. I'm good at wrenching and getting dirty. Now, in the early 90s, CARB, the California Air Resource Board, submitted out kind of a set of challenges and requirements for zero emissions vehicles. And that generated a lot of fun, unique vehicles. You had Selectra making some adaptations, things like that. You had the RAV4 EV come out of it. There's just a host of quirky, bizarre 90s EVs. But what set the EV1 apart is it wasn't another chassis with a drivetrain put into it. It was a purpose-built from the ground up electric vehicle. At no point in its design was it restricted to an internal combustion engine. It truly was a pioneer in that it was 100% always meant to be an electric vehicle. Now, the EV1 also was known as Project Impact, and throughout the entire designing and engineering process, hundreds of people worked on it. It has been absolutely amazing through my S10 era, as well as just the last week of news of the EV1 coming and popping up for sale. The number of people who reach out, post, and say they had a hand in building this car. The first leased EV1 started to reach the hands of the leasees November 16th, 1996. Remember that date. And they were delivered through the Saturn dealers, and you can kind of see the design elements. Pretty much everyone says it looks like a Saturn. They started off in Los Angeles, made it to San Diego, over to Phoenix, and finally to Tucson. They were limited to relatively warm climates because they had lead-acid batteries that don't like the cold. So GM went to keep them in warm weather climates only, sometimes a little bit too warm. Now everyone who got a hold of their EV1 quickly fell in love with the fact that it was built around being an everyday commuter. You plugged it in at home, you jumped in, you had a nice sleek two-styler to handle your morning commute. And underneath the plastic body panels was cutting-edge aluminum space frame technology. Really, it was some of the first monocoque, really amazing chassis design in an early vehicle. It also started to introduce drive-by-wire brakes. The rear brakes were exclusively electronic. And again, by not being an adapted chassis, this was always meant to house batteries and electrical components, had a very unique T-shaped battery pack that fit in the center of the vehicle, kept that center of gravity low, and the silly little sleek arrows could handle surprisingly well. Plus, along with all of that and its unique body design, it had a drag coefficient of just 0.19. Better than most supercars ever. That is an aerodynamic number still difficult to achieve. Now, the 96 models with their lead acid battery packs would see between 70 and 100 miles of range. Real numbers, we're kind of in the 60s, very similar to the S10, although the EV1 could go faster because it wasn't a truck and was so aerodynamic. The nickel metal hydride batteries were adding about 50 miles of range, at least according to the papers. You got those in 99. And unlike a lot of the other early EVs, the EV1 had a very nice linear power delivery, which we demonstrated while we were driving the S10. It feels very much like a modern EV power delivery. And this was in the 90s. Now, during the entire production run, 1,117 EV1s were produced, but none were sold. These were only leased. And right in the middle of this really big push for zero-emission vehicles, California suddenly yanked that carpet right out and said, hey, we don't need to push so hard anymore. Don't worry about getting all of these things done and finished. So GM canceled the whole project, just dead. And alongside with that, went to everyone who leased their vehicle and said, we're taking it back, canceling the buyout option, which they technically had the right to do. They took every one of them back. Danny DeVito fought for it. Actually, this vehicle's previous owner fought for it and had a long legal process. You can read about that on Brian's article in the Utopian. He had a great interview. There were tons of battles to keep the EV1s with the lessees, and every one of them failed. GM took them all back, crushed a ton of them. There's an amazing documentary, Who Killed the Electric Car. It's very unique and interesting. So even despite all of the protests and desires to keep the cars, GM crushed them and saved about 40. This is not an exact number, but it is believed to be about 40 of them that were fully decommissioned, made inoperable, and then given to different colleges and trade schools to act as teaching aids. Now, alongside that donation came a very strict policy of don't make them work. Do not make the EV1 drivetrain work and drive inside this vehicle, and it can't be registered. Also, we're loaning this to you. You don't own it. Couple schools tried. Engineers be engineers. They like to tinker. That's why so many crazy, obscure, electric vehicles exist. Somebody got a whim in the garage and went crazy. Kind of like Robert from Aging Wheels and his Tesla-swapped Ford Escape. One day it'll get done, Robert. I believe in you.
Good news! This bar fits now. Didn't before. Don't know how it fits now, but I'm not going to question it because it clears.
But through all of that tinkering, the moment they would pop up operational, angry GM lawyers would be like, hey, remember that paper you signed that said you wouldn't do that? Stop doing that. It's also been confirmed as recently as 2024. GM coming and grabbing back the cars and getting them crushed. Which seems absolutely bonkers that so far removed from the EV1 that they would still do that. But based on the loan agreements, they had all the rights to do that. Now, I'm referencing loan agreement. I also referenced that one big goal is try to share as much of an EV1 as possible because there are so many rumors and mysteries and misunderstandings about this car. So alongside that, there's a lot of misunderstandings and rumors about what the loan agreement actually looked like. Well, you want to see something very few people have ever seen on the screen, and we're going to read about it too, because I managed to track down one of those loan agreements that no one gets to see. It's not a rumor anymore. So I'm opening it on the screen here, and Dwayne maybe will pop some of it there too. But the General Motors donation agreement, donation to nonprofit organization. Now, the first part of it is just basically saying, hey, if you're close, we'll ship it. Otherwise, you're responsible for getting this vehicle to your institution. Redacted is the specific number on this form and who's donating it. It is the GM Los Angeles Vehicle Emissions Lab. It wasn't GM corporate, it was their emissions testing center in Los Angeles. So what is being donated? This particular one was related to a 97. Now, it's kind of tricky. There was 96, 97, rumored 99s. The 97, 98s is when the S10s were made. But regardless, so this was a 97, estimated value redacted, looks like $14,700 there. Can't quite see, but it's going over. It's being donated, nonprofit. It's just for educational or display purposes. And then it says in line 1, upon completion of your use of the donated items, you will scrap the donated item, dispose of the item, or do so in such manner that it can no longer be used following the GM scrap policy. That's 1. Number 2, if it's a motor vehicle, you're not ever going to try to title it, license it, operate it on a public road or highway. You're acknowledging your donation, legalese. The next one, you're accepting as is, where is, with all of its faults, blah, blah, blah. It's not fit for any type of purpose other than a school teaching aid. Next one, you're acknowledging cars are dangerous, kind of going through that a little bit. Next one, you're releasing them and their employees of any liability. You're not going to try to reach out and get extra information or parts. And then, this is where the big boo-boo happens. Line 8, the donated property cannot be transferred to any person, business, or organization without the express written consent of General Motors and its agency, and a transfer form is required to fill out. So why did a junkyard get this car? Why did a tow yard have it? We're not there just yet. Next is a little bit about gifts in kind. Follow up, second page, page 2, more information about the vehicle, the donation, what they're supposed to do. But what is really unique is the list of what they do to disable these cars. There was guesses, we didn't know. I've seen a comment from an engineer that there's this list of items, and then they intentionally high voltaged the computers if they weren't going to a school. The cars that went to schools didn't get the bonus electric shock therapy, apparently. We're going to find out later on. But following components have been removed or disabled. Airbags, confirmed. Charge port COM card, confirm. BTS and labels, confirmed. CCM, BTCM, HTCM. I don't know what all those acronyms. Basically, body, brake, traction control motor, traction control motor, brake computer, all the computers to make it work. Confirmed. Battery pack, wiring harness, fuses, auto disconnects, and the battery pack. True. The PCM from the PIB, confirmed. The coolant, confirmed. This one's funny. Windshield washer fluid, confirmed. AC is drained, coolant's drained, and the power steering's drained. It's a really unique thing of what they're draining. The big thing that made me laugh was windshield washer fluid. But, okay. But again, there's a couple more steps. Reaffirming, you're not going to try to make this thing run. You're not going to get any help from GM. You're not going to get a speaker from GM. A little bit more specific details we're not going to cover because it's requested to be redacted. So that's the first time anyone's ever seen that agreement in a big public forum. So what makes V212 special? That's what we've named the car. It's VIN 212. Brian from the Utopian kind of found that, and we were able to confirm that in person. Found a really cool part of its story. So why is this one different? There's people who have titles on EV1s, again, done in a way that maybe won't hold up in court. This particular way is iron-clad, and I'm going to explain to you how it happened. GM might close this loophole, so get your college and universities to take these steps really quickly before GM sees this video. But here's where GM and Clark both screwed up. Clark College, someone threw a brick through their forgotten donation that was sitting in a back lot and broke a windshield. Made it look pretty rough and awful. There's no registration on the car, and the police security that supports that college ran the VIN number showing it as a derelict, abandoned vehicle, salvage vehicle that shouldn't be there. The one person that might know about the car didn't know about the car. So it's reported as abandoned. So the police, doing what they should with an abandoned vehicle, contacted a tow yard, A Towing, to come pick this vehicle up. That's where this process works. Georgia law. We're going to go down Georgia law and the path that makes this the 100% iron-clad, privately owned EV1. There's rumors of theft. There's lots of mystique and rumors and theories about the other EV1s out here. I'm specifically speaking to V212 and why it is definitively privately owned, with no claims that can ever be made against it. Under official Georgia code annotated 40-11-1 Abandoned Motor Vehicle Act, an abandoned motor vehicle is defined as a vehicle or trailer in one of several situations left unattended on public or private property for 30 days and lawfully towed and then left unclaimed. So, lawfully towed. The law enforcement that handles the property of Clark College found this vehicle. No one at the college claimed it. It was marked with a sticker, then towed to A1 Towing. And then this is where A1 Towing, they're used to getting, cars off the side of the road. They deal with abandoned vehicles. They have this process down pat, and they did it right. Storage, towing, and notification. Part 1. A vehicle must be lawfully removed. They were asked by the property owner to remove the vehicle. They didn't just go snatch it. Notification of the owner, leasee, lien owners must be sent by certified mail or via other prescribed method with a statement of fees and storage. Well, there's no lien holder. You search the VIN. It did not actually produce a proper owner on title history. There's no information registration attached to the car. So they moved on to the unknown. They then reach out to the Department of Revenue, law enforcement, do a VIN search. No owner information comes back from that. So they move on to the next step. They then reach out to a court and go through a process of filing affidavits and petitions of saying, hey, we've got this car, we can't find the owner. Court comes back and says, okay, you need to publicly advertise this VIN number and vehicle information as abandoned. So they actually set out, there's specific guidelines of advertising that. You have to list it in multiple different online and print that says you have this car. You have to show you make a valid effort to find the owner, which in the paperwork, it shows all of the places it was advertised, all of the attempts made. So then after 60 days of it being on their property, they can start this process, which is 14 days of advertising, of saying, we've got this, please come get it. We don't want it anymore. And at the end of those 14 days, they take all of that paperwork back, go in front of the judge and says, Judge, no one is claiming this car. Can we please get rid of it? And the court then says it is officially abandoned. There has been no efforts of its rightful owner to come claim it. You are now its rightful owner and you may sell it to recoup your towing and storage fees. And that is exactly what happened. A1 Towing did everything right by the legal books, and GM never responded to any attempts of claiming the rightful owner through Georgia law. Doing a law enforcement search of the VIN number did not return any current owner of the vehicle. They advertised the VIN number through all of the appropriate means required by Georgia law to find its owner, and no one came up. So that is what technically makes V212 the first 100% ironclad, able to be titled privately EV1. Probably should watch those publications a little bit better, GM. Also, Clark College, thank you for forgetting about your agreement. The dispute is between GM and Clark. It doesn't transfer on. Those two stop. So it's kind of cool how one really big mistake and a brick through a windshield led us to where we're at. All right, so where does that bring us? Well, it brings you to where I get involved in the story. Based on my teaser earlier, yes, Billy did respond that it was him. He was flying into town, was making arrangements to get it out of town quickly, and didn't really have much of what was needed to get it moving other than a truck was coming down. So I loaded up some tools, some tires, and took off for Atlanta. I mean, what other opportunity am I going to have to be this hands-on with an EV1? So I get down into Atlanta, the amazing fun traffic of Atlanta. I you know, GPS arrival fluctuated up to 52 minutes during my drive down, but made it to Billy's friend's house, scooped him up, and we started the 11-minute drive back across Atlanta to the A1 tow yard to rescue a piece of history. Now, what exactly is it like? Well, first you pull up and it's your typical impound lot. You've got tow trucks coming in and out. You've got people there with trailers to rescue their own vehicles. And it's just a big brick building that we go into first with, you know, nice solid thick doors. And we enter the doors, we walk around, get into line, where we listen to someone argue that their fraudulent insurance paper, it was not fraudulent, wasn't obviously photoshopped, and they should be able to get their vehicle back out of impound. At which point Billy accidentally stepped into and over the pink line, where they yelled at him over speakers to get back behind that line. And then we go up, when it was finally our turn, hand him the paperwork, where we were met with a little bit warmer greeting than other people, realizing that we had given them money, but I don't think that lady quite realized what we had given her, because we were explaining, hey, we were told we'd have a little bit more access to the car, because normally you show up, grab your car, and get out of the lot. We needed to do a little bit more prep work to the car before we could get it out of the lot. So Billy said, hey, we were told this. Lady was real friendly, but said, no, you weren't. Well, we got our next round and stack of paperwork, went across the street to the actual tow yard where we met with Bo. Bo confirmed we could indeed bring the car up and work with it. But before we did that, we had to walk up and see this thing.
Wow.
There it is, man.
Dude, stop it.
It really, it's a real thing.
It looks good.
You're picking up your pace.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh my god.
it's real.
Oh wow, look at the hood. Charge port's still there.
Oh.
Someone recommended that I make little
Little giveaways. Someone threw a brick
Exactly.
through the windshield. That's a $30,000.
brick.
Oh, look at her.
Oh wow, could have been way worse.
Holy cow, man.
There it is, yo.
It is real.
It's actually in mint condition.
I mean, given they said they couldn't get the hood's open. Okay. Do you want, I'm keeping it low. Is there a drivetrain in it? Is there a drivetrain in it? Or did you spend $100,000 on a shell?
Where's the thing? No.
It's not electric safety, is it?
Is this what they mean by stock? There we go. Here we go.
Oh, it's got it.
It's got the PIM. It's got a 12 volt.
The 12 volt. Oh.
It's got the motor.
It's got brake, master. Under here looks complete.
It's got great. This is great. How do I prop this up?
Right.
All right, now you get a.
Oh, wait.
Wow.
There it was, looking really sad and dejected with its broken window in the rain.
Look, sitting
But there really was an EV1 sitting at an impound lot in the middle of Atlanta. Also, during just this whole process, I wasn't the best YouTuber. I was a car geek, geeking over something that shouldn't be there, being there, and my friend being its new rightful owner. So we kind of bounced around. We worked on trying to get air in all the tires, getting it inflated up. We worked on getting the big flailing pieces of glass cut out and removed and cleaned up a little bit off of the car, getting it ready to be sealed.
It's just. I kind of want to leave the bottom piece on, right? I guess it doesn't matter.
Well, again, I've got the duct tape and plastic to cover,
That's what we're gonna do. Yeah.
like the floppy stuff, the stuff that's at a risk to the dashboard.
This reminds me of like the Teslas, you know?
Like basically, I would say up to
Take it
here.
out. Yeah, let's take it out.
There you go.
Take all this stuff real quick. Put it in here. Wrap it up and put it in there. What do we do with this seat grime?
Or that glass and seat grime, I'd say just right into that bag.
All right, big pieces we're gonna keep.
Oh, tinting and LED car accessories.
I just want to throw this on the ground. I don't want to keep that, right?
Yeah. Here, I won't film you dumping that on the ground.
Worked on getting into the trunk, which was kind of fun. The fact that we went and used old muscle car tricks to get into the trunk.
All right, so one other thing we also noticed in the auction pictures was the trunk cylinder broken out, which means my classic muscle car knowledge comes in handy. We get a screwdriver and we're just gonna start feeling around and eventually find the hole. We're going blind in the hole. Do we go up? No. No. All right, wait, no. It's in. It's in the hole. Now does it unlock?
Please. Oh.
It's opening. It is open. Oh.
Oh.
Oh. Manual. Oh. Well.
Oh.
It's a good thing you have those. I'm fairly confident those are all the engineering manuals of the vehicle.
Look at the original cargo net.
That's
cool.
And it's still elasticy.
Yeah.
That's, I'm going to say, the most impressive
Out of the
part.
sunlight, you know. Now, low key, I do want to. No, it's all one. It's all one.
Is it?
It's all one.
Oh, yeah. Wait. Okay.
Nope. Nope.
That's got gonosyphilitis. Oh,
It reeks.
no, it is solid.
It's one, right? Yeah, it's all one.
Okay. We're going to extract.
Oh, what page are we on?
Hey, we actually kind of need that. Run shift lock assembly. So these are the manuals. Do you have the papers or digital scans?
I have both.
Okay, so you have these.
Yeah, I have 2 new sets of manuals. One was given to me by a really great guy named Mike Schwab, who Michael Schwab, who created the RAV4 Info Palm Pilot adapter.
That's amazing.
And he also made an EV1 Info. The other guy that I got a manual from was Eric Lubin, who was a EV1 and S10 EV owner in Los Angeles, Brea, California.
So, man. But it looks like your jack, maybe, where a jack mount would have gone or something.
Oh no, that was the trunk.
portable charger.
Yeah, I have 2 of those.
The portable charger.
The
to
portable
lock
charger
into there.
locked in right there.
I will say the windshield being broken stinks. This fiberglass being broken, that stinks. This is fixable. Like, you can recreate and glue that.
Yeah.
Probably a Saturn lock set for the trunk. That not being broken is probably.
Can I try to open this? Now, but remember, the reason why all these were broken was because is the only reason why we think we have the car.
Yeah. The windshield being like is the only reason Clark College ever sent it to the junkyard.
All right, teach me.
You need the screw point or the driver pointing up and down.
There it is, I think, right there. Okay, so I'm in
Now
it.
turn it. There you go. Now you can officially put junk in your trunk.
Mold.
And then we were inside the car just admiring the control panels and just everything about it.
I love the infotainment controls in here.
I know, right? That whole panel on the inside is...
They're so cool.
During that entire process, we had everyone coming up to see us. The different employees and yard managers of A1 Towing wanting to come out. The director of finance of A1 Towing coming out and thanking Billy for it. We had everyone else who buys their junk cars and parts cars from the auctions coming over and saying hello and trying to figure out why did one car just sell for 10 times every other car of the auction of that day. One of the employees even joked how this was going to be her daughter's first car, just to kind of torment her, that this cheap, junky little 90s GM, they thought, I guess it was a Saturn, which it kind of is, but we're tormenting her that was her cheap first car, this sad looking little plastic GM, not understanding at all what it was, how historical it was, period. Now, there was some questions because it quickly disappeared off the auction website. Once it was paid and confirmed, that was partially for protection of the car and it being so unique and out of the norm, they didn't want it just out there. So they started to try to conceal it a little bit because so many people had been calling, like Brian from the Utopian, and other news agencies were reaching out. And they did some extra steps as well as on the security side of things, which we appreciated. They brought a couple cars over, blocked it in really well so it couldn't be moved at all until we were there, and had an extra gate agent come in to act as a little bit more security. Because again, they're used to $800 cars, not $104,000 and after auction fees, $118,000 car sales. It's unique for them. But they were absolutely wonderful, super accommodating for us as the rain was coming down on us and we were working to get this thing loaded up safely.
Now we're trying to figure out to get it into neutral. It's kind of that in the glass, then it's ready to go. It's broken off. This is a very truncated first look, because again, we got to get it out of here. So
I know Andrew from Australia. I'm calling my LA friend.
the other option is we can jack up the front enough and I can undo the cable pawl on the motor, which may be our bet. So I'm going to start trying to look at the motor and I will let you know whatever we found out. Also, it's humid and I sweat, so that's why it's steamy. Yeah, they're both rolling perfect, so you're good to get her straight.
All right, I'm getting a phone call. Dude, the EV1 is driving behind it, getting pulled by a tow truck. I'm sorry. A lot of work in this on this car.
We got it loaded up onto the truck, and that's where this first bit of the story ends. I'm incredibly grateful to have been a part of it, and we're going to get to have continued parts of it, and that's where I want to set the expectations. It exists, so what's next? Again, it's a restoration. We've seen comments about doing modern EV drivetrain, something like that. The drivetrain's perfect. We are going to try to make it work. Within the entire community of who's working together to restore EV212, we decided 212 isn't it, it's EV212 or V212. I liked EV212, Wally, but the owner is calling her V212. It's a restoration, but the group working to get this thing back together, you have software engineers, you have mechanical engineers, you've got CAD engineers, and then you've got me. And I don't want to sell myself short. I am very capable. I could do a lot of things, but I kind of feel like there's a lot smarter people in the room, and that's where I've kind of deemed myself the KISS specialist. Keep it simple, stupid. You get sometimes lost in the big thinking track and you miss a simple solution to a problem. So I'm the redneck engineer of the group. When something has to happen, I'm going to go to the hardware store, get a bathroom plunger and flapper valve, and we're going to make the car work. That's kind of my expertise. That, and I've already gone through the complete custom rewiring and remaking of a battery pack in the bed of an EV S10. So that's part of my big scope. And again, I'm good at just finding solutions to problems. So that's where I come in. There's a lot smarter people, and we're all going to work together to get it working. Also, kind of in and amongst the group, there's about a dozen S10 EVs, some of them delegated only to parts duty. And that's going to help us get the PIM, the charger, get it back to operational. There are some big hurdles, the windshield, the brake controller, but we have solutions for a lot of those problems. Custom glass getting made. Motorsports, the EV1 had a gold lined windshield, so you can have an electric defrost feature. We're going to get all of that working, but it's going to be a process. The other question, who's Billy? Well, he's a self-described carb enthusiast, old EV carb enthusiast. He's never owned a vehicle that you had to put gas into. I'm a petrol head. I love gas cars, but he's an enthusiast. He absolutely loves these vehicles. He daily drives carb-era EVs, and I don't think there's a better steward in the world for this car. Now, when I say that, I threw the question out to him. I was like, what if Jay Leno called you, offered you $1 million for V212? And he said no. He can make money. You can't make another one of these. So the next big step. We're a couple weeks out. We're going to get all the minds back together, visit the car in its discrete location, and make some more big headway. We're going to go over exactly what was removed, disabled, destroyed, and how we're going to have to hopefully fix it, and just go over a lot of that process. It's exciting. There's been so many messages back and forth and plans. And if you remember earlier on, when I mentioned, remember the date, November 16th, 1996. The ultimate goal that Billy has is for the 30th anniversary of the first leased EV1 driving off into the public's hands is when his EV1 will be redisplayed and out for the public to see and driving around down the road. So we're going to try to gather a bunch of the operational S10 EVs, have a little parade of carb era electronic vehicles, and I think it's a really cool thing. But don't worry, I'm not going all EV. We've got all kinds of crazy stuff. I've got the satellite. We've got Papa's truck to get a good transmission in. We've got the Ferrari V8 swapped Toyota pickup truck. We've got lots of really cool stuff coming. The Daihatsu Tri-Jet, O'Reilly Auto Parts, absolutely bonkers. And we're building some jet engines. So we got a lot of cool, crazy to come. It's going to realistically be about a month for the next EV1 episode. We're going to share as much as we can, but this isn't a car you just go to the parts counter and get parts for. I think wipers might be the only thing we can get over the counter. So bear with us. I will make sure to share updates on the other social media where all of you guys potentially came from. This is historical. I get it. You don't politically have to like electric vehicles. You do have to appreciate a team of brilliant engineers coming together and building something so far ahead of its time, crippled only by battery technology of the 90s. It's a cool thing. Billy saved it from the crusher, and I get to be a small part of bringing it back to life and sharing that whole process with you. So, not a lot of action, a little bit of playing in the mud, but I hope you guys kind of appreciate the story of V212 and how soon we're going to have a publicly operational EV1. It's a big deal. I know not all of you get it, but don't worry. Like I said, we got Mopar, we got cool mechanical things coming along, and hopefully some of you electric guys and gals who popped in for the EV1 will appreciate some of the other stuff I do. It's the Questionable Garage. I love all things motoring, and we're going to work on all things motoring. So if you haven't seen them, I've got a link to the playlist of my S10 EV coming back to the road. But for now, we're going to wrap up all of this talking. I'm Jared, reminding you guys to always make questionable choices and go ahead and appreciate the historical significance of things, even if you don't like them. We'll see you next time.